I am here, buddy.
Okay. You ready to do a 24-hour bike race?
Oh, boy. Let's wait till 2017. Actually, let's do Ironman together in 2017. How about that?
I'll have to think about that. All right. How's everybody else doing?
Yeah, I think somebody needs to mute their phone. You have a lot of background noise.
If anybody's on the line and just hit the mute button and you can just listen into the phone call. We're going to wait about one more minute.
Yeah, I'll mute them all out in just a second here before we get started.
Yeah,
okay,
please.
thanks,
I can't find the mute on here.
Well, that's all right. We'll be ready to mute in about 1 minute. All right. So we got about a couple minutes after 8, and let's go ahead and mute the lines and get this call rolling.
Martin, if we can, this is Dave. Before we mute the lines, I want to take a quick second here and give a shout-out. Have we got Doug Simpson on the phone?
Yeah, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Brother,
Yep,
we just want to have the entire line. Before we start this call, we want to have everybody on this call give a shout-out to you for being a Vice Stud and for hitting ambassador this week, buddy. Everybody, the lines are open. Give Doug some love. Great job, buddy. Way to go.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great job, Doug. Okay, we're going to mute out the lines, and we're going to get this call rolling. My name is Martin Hagen. I'm from Wisconsin, and I've been part of I for about 3 years, coming up in July. And I started with Vi because I was looking at fitness, from the fitness aspect. And when the person that introduced it to me, I wasn't really looking to lose weight. I was looking to increase my nutrition. I knew that was a lacking factor in much of what I was doing. And that's where, when I was introduced to Vi, first thing I did was drink a shake, and it tasted like cake. And I was thinking to myself, I can do this. It tastes good. I can do this day in, day out for 90 days. I can do that. Well, within the first couple weeks, I noticed that my energy levels were going up, and I'm like, this is great. And I started thinking, I can actually share this with other people because it tastes good. That's when it started hitting me that I could share this with other people, and I could affect other people's lives. That's what drove me to continue sharing Visalis, because of the taste of a shake. That was it. And everything else was just a bonus. Since I started the challenge, I've lost 15 pounds of fat. I put on 20 pounds of muscle, and I've completed a 24-hour bike race. I took first in my age group, and I finished with 403 miles in 24 hours. Before that, I was a triathlete. I did Ironman, but I was struggling. I struggled with sugar. Sugar was my addiction, and I didn't really pay attention to my weight, but it was going up on an average of where I would have been well over 30 pounds overweight by the time I'm 60. That was my future. That's where I didn't want to be. So I turned things around. I started sharing Visalis. I was using Visalis, every product they had, to do all my training. My nutrition was top notch, using Visalis for meals and then finding more information out from other people in the Vi community. This community is awesome. I'm so lucky to be on this call and co-hosting with some just rock stars here. my goal, I just finished my 90-day VI commit, and I finished 90 days biking 1 hour a day on my trainer on average, and that's my first step to my next goal, which is to do a 24-hour bike race in the middle of June. This would be my second 24-hour bike race, and the other one I did was 2 years ago. So I'm in line to get that going, and I'm looking forward to doing some more riding. So with that being said, I am going to hand this call over to the next rock star, Lindsay. Are you there?
I am here. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's awesome to have you on. Now, Lindsay is a personal trainer. Is that correct?
Correct.
And she's a rock star. She's been rocking it out for quite some time now. I'm going to let you take over the call and just share what you have for about the next 5 minutes, and share away.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you inviting me on this call. I've heard wonderful things, and I have my whole team plugging on as well. But I also, guys, I just wanted you guys to know I have always been into health and fitness. I was an athlete in high school. I love coaching kids in volleyball. I did it for years, and that led me to be a trainer. For over 7 years now, I've been training, 5 of which of that was part-time. I was working a full-time job and training part-time because that's what I love to do. So I've always, had a love for helping people get healthy, and even more, I love motivating them and watching them transform and being a part of their story. And that's what we here at VI are all about, right? But years ago, before VI, you know what, I was one of those people that I'm sure you may look at trainers at the gym and you're like, gosh, that person is such a know-it-all. They know everything. They think they know everything there is to know about, working out right and eating right and working out, effectively to hit your goals. And that, that's what I thought, I was back then. And I was completely wrong, right? Because I realized that my clients, especially the people I was working with day to day, they needed things that were fast and convenient. They needed things that taste good and were affordable, right? Following strict meal plans was, the most challenging thing for my clients, and I failed at that as their trainer for years. I was giving them, meal plans saying you need to follow this and that, and they're coming to me saying it's too tough for me, and I just didn't understand that. I was just so hard-headed to even understand that from them. So shame on me. And then working a full-time job plus training part-time, it challenged myself as well to even get that proper nutrition day to day. And when I became a mom, I gave birth to my son Landon in 2012. He's now 4 years old. It was even more evident that I needed something that was fast and convenient, right? Because us moms, we're running all over the place. We're busy all the time, and we don't always have the time to make the effort to cook those nutritious, healthy meals. So we, Matt and I, my husband and I, we were watching our best friends, for over 2 years in the Visalis business. They were getting people healthy, and these weren't just a few people. Like my 6 clients at the gym I was working out with every day, there were thousands of people that they were being, a huge impact in their life and in helping them transform their bodies, whether it's, physically through, a fitness challenge, a weight loss challenge, or even some of the VI model challenge people, I was watching them transform. And my love and passion, to get people results and get myself something that was effective, it led me to finally say yes to our best friends who had been talking to us about this for, well over 2 years. I'd fallen in love with the shakes, and that's, the main thing that got my husband and I started. I was getting people in my current business healthy. I was changing bar owners' lives. I was a liquor rep, so I called on bars and restaurants. And I was, I got 3 of my bar owners, to go off their diabetes medications because they no longer were type 2 diabetics. And my husband, and I, right off the bat, we knew that we had to put the products to the test ourselves. So we started with a couples fitness challenge right away. And with that, we both lost about 3% body fat. My husband lost his first 10 pounds and was able to make that meal donation to the kids. And then we fell in love with the Project 10 kits, and we knew we wanted to be a big part of that. By the end of that challenge, we both looked and felt great. No longer did I take those crazy fat burners that I used to take, and those were horrible for me. They were causing, a whole bunch of heart problems and things like that, and I knew that I had healthy things that I could take and hopefully, become pregnant with our second child. We threw out our crappy protein tubs. I know you guys may have a lot of those, and we started getting free products every single month just for challenging other people. And that was the coolest thing. And I was like, if I can go and help my clients get healthy and I can help them, get free groceries every month, this is something that's really going to become a huge part of our life. I went on from there, guys. I did a VI model challenge. I did a team challenge where we did crazy push-ups and like 100 squats a day and that crazy ab roller. We did that, and we had so much fun. And then the most exciting thing happened really in our lives, over the past couple of years was I got pregnant with my daughter, Jordan, who was eventually born in April, I got pregnant in April last year, and I had her in January this year. But I was so excited this pregnancy because I was finally able to experience the VI product for the whole round of pregnancy. The last 90 days, I even challenged myself to work out every single day, and I swear, guys, I did not miss a day of that workout. I called it my Just Keep Moving Challenge. I gained 35 healthy pounds this pregnancy. I had a healthy baby.
Oh, my God.
On January 18th, I began my VI Commit 10 days post-baby to get me to my pre-baby body weight. I'm 6 pounds away from that. I work out daily, guys. I nurse my baby girl, and I run my business. I utilize every VI product. The Slim, the Trim, the anti-aging energy pill, and the VI Pack are the only things that I do not take during pregnancy and post-pregnancy. And I also have a whole freezer of milk, so my husband and I can take a cruise and show off my post-baby body in May. But the last thing I want to leave you guys with is, last year, Matt and I, our team here in Omaha, Nebraska, we danced over 200 times for our teammates who lost or billed it with Project 10 because we were so freaking excited that they could make that meal donation. And we work with the Boys and Girls Club here in Omaha every single week to give them healthy workouts, and then they follow it up with a shake if they do their workout. So 18,000 meals were donated to the local Boys and Girls Club here in Nebraska. So my final tip for you guys is just to own it. Own your own challenge. Celebrate even the smallest victories for yourself as you go. It's going to fuel you, for even, greater results. And it can really change your life and impact it as it did ours. So thanks for having me on the call. I appreciate it.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lindsay, for your time. That is amazing. I love your story.
You're welcome.
That's great. Awesome. Well, we're going to go on to the next rock star. Is Doug there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Doug. Doug is also an ambassador, a new ambassador with Vitalis. And, share your story, Doug. I want to hear it. I want people to hear your story. Let's go.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was ready, but you and Lindsay don't wore me out. 24-hour bike ride and all the aerobics and all the boot camps. Yeah, I'm tired already. But anyway, I'm Doug Simpson, guys, and I've been at Vitalis for 2.5 years. And, 3 years total. I've been 2.5 years full-time. I started off part-time, and, guys, I want to tell you this, for starters, I was a huge skeptic, okay? When Kristen Richards came to me, she said, "Oh, you got to do this, you got to do it." I said, No. I've been bodybuilding 20 years. I said, I'm not doing this. It's a scam. So, guys, if anybody tells you that, don't give up on them. Just keep going and, laugh about it. So, yeah, this scam's made me a couple $100,000. Yeah. So, don't ever give up on somebody because I'm going to tell you, I was that guy. So, and what got me into it is I went to a tiny event, guys. It was just at a local hotel, actually. And there was a 12-year-old girl there that lost 40 pounds. And I said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" She goes, "Hold on, let me get my mom. My mom's lost 60 pounds. I'm like, "What?" And, guys, this was in 90 days. So that's what convinced me to sign up is seeing a little girl and her mother. So anyway, guys, long story short, I was part-time, and I decided after going to my second event in Orlando, I'll never forget it as long as I live. I drove all the way there by myself, and I was on my way home that night, and I said, I got real tired. So I pulled over, and I stayed at a hotel, and the next morning I woke up, and I said, "Where am I?" They said, "You're in Daytona." I said, "Can you drive on the beach here?" they're like, yeah. So I took my SUV, and I drove down to the beach, and as soon as I got there, I opened up my door, and I rolled out, and I landed on the beach. And honestly, I spread out, and I was like, wow, this is freedom right here. I said, I don't have nobody in the world to answer to. From that point on, guys, from Florida to Virginia, I had a mobile detailing business. I sold all 3 of my trailers. I sold all my tanks. I sold everything from Florida to Virginia, and I went full-time after that. And it's been a blessing. I've made $200,000 doing it, and not only that, guys, I've helped 600 people lose 20,000 pounds. Now, the kicker is I've signed up over 1,200 in 2 years. So, honestly, guys, the weight loss is a lot more than that. And I tell everybody, I said, I don't even do it for the money anymore. I do it for those stories. I do it for the people that call me up crying because they're off their pain med, their insulin, their blood pressure, their cholesterol, anything that's associated with gaining weight and, all the bad foods out there that they offer that, they don't tell us how bad they really are. So, guys, it's changed my life. And I tell you, it was a year ago. It was last January. I said, it's January 28th. I said, you know what? I've got to hit national director. I said, I'm going to get crazy, or presidential director. I said, I'm going to get crazy. Guys, here's what I did. If anybody on this phone wants to get creative, and I'll end this call here in a few minutes with a couple more ways to get creative. But I went on one of those for sale sites, and I used Raven Nicholson's picture because honestly, that's the biggest story. I mean, you take somebody that's got that kind of transformation, that's what people want to see. We can sell them product all day. We can talk about it, but facts tell, stories sell. So I used her picture, and I said, from size 20 to 0, who's next? Guys, I had 299 comments. I had private messages, and this is 299 comments in 3 hours. I was following up with people. I screenshotted a text, and it went out to everybody. I started sending it out to everybody. Well, anybody that came up more than once or more than twice and was asking me questions, I looked at where they worked and what they did. Well, one of them was Deetra Cash, and guys, Deetra owns a nail salon in the middle of nowhere. Population's about 1,400 people in this town, and her outside town is about 2,200. So we're talking about almost 4,000 people. Guys, I walked into her nail salon, and I said, Deetra, I said, I'm Doug Simpson. She goes, are you stalking me? I said, yeah, but, in a good way, not that kind of stalker. So there was 3 ladies in there, guys, and what I did, I preached the business for a second. I said, look, anybody here want to lose weight? The 3 ladies said, I do. So I made them a shake. All 3 of them loved it, and they're like, how do we get signed up? I looked at Deetra. I said, look, there's 3 customers right there. You already got it free. Guys, she signs up. Another lady comes in to get her nails done or her toes done, and she wants a transformation kit while I'm there. So I said, you know what? Spend a couple $100 more and make money with us. She's getting ready to do it, and we can keep each other accountable. Long story short, guys, $44,000 in volume, 22 days, national director, 3 RDs. It was crazy. It went insane because every day we were signing up new promoters. And then I ran contests for other promoters, and it got crazy, guys. 300 customers that month, and I had 63 personal customers as well. So that's the best month that I've ever had. But I stayed afloat. Running from ND to PD the past few months. And then my upline left. Guys, that does happen. Don't let it get you down. It did get me down. I'm not going to come on here and sugarcoat anything. I was in a slump for about 2 months, and didn't even want to leave my house, to be honest with you. And I'm a positive guy, but I didn't want anybody to see me down. So anyway, I can tell you this. Some of the other leaders reached down to me and said, look, you can do this. But the main phone call I got was from Nick Sarnicola. He said, you coming to Kansas City next weekend? I said, Nick, I just spent $6,000 moving into a new place where I know nobody. I'm in a brand new town. I don't know a soul. I was like, dude, I'll be honest with you. I'm not making the money I was making. Nick got me there, guys. And I'm going to tell you, from that day on, I decided that this is where I want to be. I've never, ever, ever thought about going anywhere else. And even though one of my best friends, left the company. So here's what I did in January. I called my upline, and I said, look, I got one leg that I know is going to get crazy. I want you to work with them. I'm going to build 2 more legs. And, guys, I did that. My mom is 72 years old. I put her in the business last week. And before I come this Thursday to the event, my mom will be an area director. I have no clue what's going on. But you know what, guys? That's what I'm doing. I'm changing my mom's life. She's raised me, since birth. And I'm gonna retire my mother in the next 30 days. You guys on here can guarantee that. I promise you. But that's what I did the last 90 days. I stayed focused. I got creative. I started going to paint night. I was the only guy there. I always walk in. I say something like, "I'm not gay," just being funny, trying to break the ice. And I signed up 11 people from paint night. And then I went to a local restaurant that was having this boot camp aerobics kind of thing. And I walked in, and there was 15 women in there. This was 4 weeks ago, guys. And I said, "How many of y'all's in here to lose weight?" And they all raised their hand. I said, "Look, can I get 2 minutes after this is over?" And they told me I could. So I started fixing shakes. I was making cereal in the cups. Guys, when it was done, I signed up 6 people. And I looked at the girl that ran it, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to make a deal with you. We get 10 customers. I don't care if it's the next 10 weeks. I'll pay your executive fee." Guys, if you do the math on that, and you're selling $300 custom kits to each person, you'll make a lot more than $4.99. So that's what I did. This lady's coming in. Well, this lady owns the biggest band in Virginia, and she has a following of about 15,000. So I feel like I hit the lottery with this one, and it's getting ready to get crazy. So my volume's only going to rise from here. But I can tell you guys, anybody on this phone has had bad things happen, don't worry about it. Keep your head up, and I promise you, things start to fall in place. That's my story.
Awesome. Thanks, Doug. Now we are going to have next on the agenda. I'm sorry if I get your name wrong. Shurrenda.
I'm here. You did great. Thanks for that.
Welcome to the call. Now, if you
Thank you
share,
so much.
Oh, that's awesome. Glad to have you. Now, if you could share, take the next 5 minutes, share what your story is, what kit you used, and kind of maybe some helpful tips for people out there.
Okay. I'm happy to. Glad to. Actually honored. I started the challenge in 2012 when I found out I was grade 1 obese. And I had yo-yo dieted, tried different diets off and on. I was a young female wanting to wear the smallest jeans I could wear. And
because what?
Can somebody on the moderator line? Can you mute your line, please?
Really? Did I say anything? Oh. Your problem is you assumed. I don't assume anything.
Somebody needs to mute their lines, please, on the moderator line.
Who is it?
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's no problem. So I found out I was obese, and I had gotten that way by losing weight all the wrong times, all the wrong ways, too many times. You know, I would go on some fad diet, lose a bunch of weight in a very unhealthy way, and then as soon as I went back to actually eating normal food, I not only gained back what I lost, but always extra, until I had gotten very large. So I knew my health was on the line. A friend introduced me to the challenge, actually had my husband and I over just to taste a shake. And wow, it was delicious. And I had learned my lesson from my past. I knew that if I was going to do anything and it really work, it had to be something that I could do for the rest of my life. I had learned that there's no magic pill, there's no magic diet, there's no food group to eliminate, there's no special thing to do. You just have to be able to be consistent for the rest of your life with good, healthy nutrition. And so these tasted great, and I looked at my husband and I said, I can drink these every day. Well, that was in 2012. 4 years later, I've lost 45 pounds. I started with the shake kit, and I was able to get friends on board right away, get that kit for free, so I bumped up to the transformation kit. I got that for free, and fast forward, now I have a custom kit, and oh my gosh, I get my NutriBars, I get all of the products that I love. I do one regular shape mix, and I also do a superfood shake. So I mix both of those, and I get to make it the way I like it, and I absolutely love it. The reason why I mentioned was that I was obese, and I was concerned about my quality of life. I turned 51 this month, so I wasn't a spring chicken, and I have watched too many people that I love, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, lose the quality of life in their end years due to obesity-related illnesses. My grandmother had type 2 diabetes and had both legs amputated before she died. She was miserable because she loved getting out and going and visiting people and doing things, and that was all taken away from her just because of the poor choices that she made. It could have been controlled when she was young. So I just want to have quality of life. Dave is almost 6 years younger than me. I've got to be able to keep up with that young man. So I knew I had to make this a lifestyle. And I don't know how many years I have left, but I want them to be quality. And these products are good nutrition. My blood work comes back regularly from my doctor, and he's thrilled. He encourages me to stay on the products. The tip that I have is for everybody out there listening who you may have tried different things and, it worked for a while and then failed, and do the yo-yo dieting and all of those things. And it's true when they say you can't out-exercise a bad diet. So you have to make a decision that you're going to make it a lifestyle change and stop looking at it as a diet. And with the challenge, it's really easy to do because we still get to eat regular food, right? After 4 years, I don't know if you all are familiar with terminology of being on challenge or off challenge. So when I'm on challenge, so to speak, when I'm doing, like I just finished the 90-day Vi Commit and I lost 15 pounds, and what being on challenge meant was I replaced 2 meals a day with the shakes, I ate healthy snacks, and I ate clean. So I would have a balanced meal with a lean protein, green veggies, and just eat whole foods, clean foods, instead of processed foods. When I'm off challenge, guess what? I still drink 2 shakes a day. I still replace 2 meals a day with a shake. So that doesn't change. The shakes are a part of my life forever. It's not going anywhere. There's only one component that will change, and that is for that one food meal every day, I'm a little less restrictive. So nothing is off limits forever. I've not ever said I will never eat a French fry again, or I'll never have pizza again, or I'll never have a cheeseburger again. But I limit those things, and I make them treats. And so I don't feel like I've lost anything. I've done nothing but gain a lot of life, a lot of energy, and get to do things I've never done before. And I tried going off of the shakes altogether, and quite frankly, you don't know what you've got till it's gone really kicked in. You can tell the difference when you take the good nutrition out. So I love them. I'm in it for life, and I hope something I've said tonight has blessed someone or helped someone along the way. Back to you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your insight, your tips, and your story. It's just phenomenal to hear that. So thankful that you were able to spend some time with us tonight. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm actually going to pass it off to Doug Simpson again. He's gonna wrap it up with his 5 tips and how to stay engaged in your community and on your challenge. Doug, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. Guys.
All right. Well, why don't you finish it up?
Go ahead. Okay. Guys, follow up with all your customers. I do the follow-up Fridays. I'll call my people and for example, hey, Miss Jones, how's it going? And if she has anything negative, like, oh, I'm slacking or I've missed a couple, you know what, I start her over. Because, guys, it's all mindset. And you get your mindset right, guys, they can do anything the next 90 days. So I do that. I follow up. Like I said earlier, I go to local events. I find out where the paint nights are. I use a lot of social media, guys. And I'll tell you, when you use social media, you have to follow up. Because I'm telling you, if you don't, you've already piqued your interest. And the next time they see somebody that's doing it or somebody reaches out to them, they're going to sign with them. So fortune's in the follow-up. 48% of the people never follow up. So don't be one of those people. Also, go to your local parks. Have a pile of business cards on you. This is what I feel like I'm really good at. I'll just walk up to people. I did it tonight in the gym, and actually might have a new promoter, hopefully. But I'll take a business card, and I'll walk up to people. Hey, I'm giving my card to everybody here today. If anybody wants to lose 10 or more pounds, I said, here's my card. Oh, you do? Because, guys, you can walk up to a supermodel, and she's going to tell you she want to lose weight. It's just the way it is. Every human's going to say, I want to lose weight. It's just the way it is. So I'll walk up to people. Hey, here's my business card. I'm giving it to everybody. Anybody wants to lose 10 or more pounds? I'm telling you, it's the greatest conversation piece ever. And, I'll get their contact information. Or I'll just say, look, where do you live? I'll come over tonight, 7 o'clock. Hey, you know what? Get your neighbor over there, and I'll show you how to get it for free. So I'll do that. So, utilize anything. Like I went on the internet 2 weeks ago here in my town, and I'm in a new town, guys. I don't know hardly anybody. And I just said local fitness groups. And what popped up was this restaurant every Tuesday and every Thursday. They got a projector screen, and they're having women come in and doing this like 1975 video of aerobics and stuff. But you know what? They were doing it, guys, and they were excited about it. And that's when I went a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, can I talk to y'all? And, guys, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and people are joining me every day, every other day from this group. So, like I said, I made the main lady. She's going to become a promoter this week before I get to NFP. So, guys, just get creative. Do what you've never done and have what you've never had, and I tell you, you'll blow this business up.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Doug. With that said, I'm going to wrap this phone call up. We're getting about 8:33. You all have a good night. This call is a wrap.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Doug.